Welcome back, folks. So I got my normal stuff I gotta do today. I got the Pokemon team video. I got the box office whenever that fully updates. And I also got, because it's the week of What If, the final What If. But I intended to do this video yesterday. A snafu happened. I didn't press stop recording, so I had to trim down my Dragon Ball Z What If King Kai video because the remaining 14 minutes that got added onto there was just me dicking around setting this video up. But this is a video I've been thinking about doing for a while, and it's just a fun idea, but it's an idea we can also expand upon for a future What If. And that's basically, and what I will essentially title the video as, is let's create the strongest version of Goku. What is the strongest version of Goku we create, and how powerful would that Goku theoretically be? And obviously we can do this for other characters down the line. If you like this idea for a video, I kind of like the idea of doing it for a couple other characters as well. Say like the strongest version of Naruto, Deku, Asta, Aang, hypothetically. Other characters down the road who are like main characters, and who we know have like multiple versions of like power-ups and things along those lines. Obviously right now we're starting with the obvious one, Goku. Now, there are some images in here that I did not create. Most of them are just, free to use because they're from the actual series. Some of them are made by others. I will give proper shout out to the people who created those images. And should note, we will be playing a little loose with things here to a certain degree. Let's just get into it. So we have base Goku. Base Goku, as is a Saiyan. Obviously, he has access to all the stuff that gets later on, but he's just a Saiyan. So how do we improve base Goku right at the gate? Well, I think we immediately go with Goku we immediately give him his tail back. Now, being able to turn into the Ozaru really wouldn't be playing much of a factor into the strongest version of Goku. Neither, honestly, would Akari really be playing that big a factor with Goku. This is because, honestly, I think something like Super Saiyan 4 is just the full version of Akari, so we would just skip past that. I do think, however, that while it's never been stated outright, and it's never been proven, I do think there is like a little bit of power loss when a Saiyan loses their tail. Not like anything significant. We see Vegeta loses his tail. He still gets a huge Zenkai. But I think he may have been like a little bit larger had he not lost his tail. Actually, a perfect honest example power-wise is Vegeta's full power was 18,000. Hypothetically, and this is all just in my head right now, it's possible his power could have dropped a little bit, like to suppress 16,000, but because he got such a big Zenkai boost, theoretically 50%, it bumped him all the way up to 24, and that's why he was at 24,000. Now, the best theory, though, is that it doesn't really do it, but I still would give Goku his tail. It gives him, I think, a better access to his primal abilities, and it is, and I think it just looks better too. So then we got to give him his Kaioken as well. Boom, Kaioken Aura. I was surprised there was a Kaioken Aura image to be able to just insert on here. And I had to basically angle it properly. So we can now give him his Kaioken. He has access to his full capability of Kaioken times 20, and he can just do it. You can just spam a times 20. Since that is the largest multiplier of a Kaioken we ever saw in Goku, that is the maximum we will allow. We also will give him his hidden potential unlocked from Guru. That would make sense as well. But beyond that, we also, and I believe this is the right image. Please be the right image. Nope, that is not the right image. So we're just going to move right back here. Where did that other... There it is. There's the one. So beyond that, not just having Guru, mind you, unlocking Goku's potential, but also we would have to have the old Kai unlock his potential. So now you have a Goku with both his tail, his hidden potential from Guru unlocked, and then the ultimate potential unlocked by the old Kai. Now, a big thing here is that this Goku would also basically have all his Super Saiyan transformations. I think it is paramount for this one that he has access to every single one of these. But now we're getting into a little bit of a question mark area, because the only individual we have ever seen access a transformation beyond the ultimate / mystic form is Gohan. And it's very much implied that there are other circumstances beyond that. The fact that Gohan's a hybrid, for example, is often brought up. The fact that he did have an ultimate transformation, but he also had potential probably beyond that as well. It's without Goku or Vegeta accessing the beast form, we just don't know if Goku can do that. Hypothetically, I could give him that form, but without knowing he could access it, I don't want to give him that form. That's the thing. Unless it's something that can be proven to be accessed by anyone, I don't want to give it to Goku. So the question then is, can Goku... First off, we actually know these guys can access their Super Saiyan forms before the Ultimate forms. Before going to the Ultimate form. Theoretically, the Ultimate form is the most powerful form because it's like all your potential truly brought to the fold, negating all the God keys, or negating all the transformation stuff. I'll be honest, I've never quite liked that. I mean, because it ultimately just negates ever creating Super Saiyan to begin with. It kind of makes it all pointless. So, on one hand, I completely get it. We're just going to fast forward it. But on the other hand, I'm like, I get it, but then it just kind of negates everything that we had here beforehand. I will say this. I think you could maybe reach a pinnacle of ultimate. So Goku's equivalent to, say, beast form, in theory, could be Super Saiyan 4, but an ultimate version of that, where the hair is a bit more spiked up like a Super Saiyan form. But he's got the Super Saiyan 4 body. Now, you might be saying, well, Super Saiyan 4 is not canon. True, but it's something that Goku still was able to access within one of the timelines. So we can still use Super Saiyan 4, which, of all the natural Super Saiyan forms, without the use of God Ki, is the strongest form you can access. So right now we have a Ultimate Super Saiyan 4 Goku, with both of his potentials unlocked and a Kaioken's times 20. This will probably mean he could beat Omega Shenron's ass at the end of that fight. But nay, we're not done. Because now we completely go beyond those and go immediately into Super Saiyan God. Whoop, that's the wrong one. Where did Super Saiyan God go? Seriously, where did it go? Well, either way, I guess I didn't have a Super Saiyan God image available. Point being, now you have to add Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue into those equations. And now you're adding Super Saiyan God Ki onto all these transformations. So first off, would the Super Saiyan God form on its own be stronger than anything Goku has accessed at this point? Yes, probably actually. Because standard Super Saiyan God was light years beyond the Ultimate Gohan we got in Dragon Ball Z. Now, Goku ultimately ended up training over and over again to get stronger, but still, the point is that it eclipses both of those. So Super Saiyan God added on to the already incredibly powerful base Goku is where you would go after that. But beyond that, you then go into the questions of Super Saiyan Blue or mixing Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan transformations. And the long and short of it is, the pinnacle of that, in my opinion, would probably be the Super Saiyan God mixed with Super Saiyan 4 and Ultimate Super Saiyan 4, which would most likely give you something that is that looks like Gogeta, but again with more pronounced hair, stronger even than what the just God with Super Saiyan form would be. So now you have a Super Saiyan Ultimate 4 Super Saiyan Ultimate God, or Super Saiyan 4 Ultimate God Goku. That's basically what you get, with a Kaioken times 20 on there. Now you might be saying again, well, wait, no, Goku couldn't use the Kaioken with Super Saiyan God, but he could use it with Super Saiyan Blue. Is that just means he can use it with Super Saiyan 4 God? I think if we're trying to max out Goku to the most realistic possibility here while still giving some leeway, then yes, he can use a Kaioken times 20 on top of his Super Saiyan 4 God, Ultimate God. But then, we go even further. Now I can use the images I had available here. And this image came to us from, I believe it was, it was XCHS on DeviantArt. You have to add the Super Saiyan, you have to add Ultra Ego on there. So Goku accessing Ultra Ego alone is beyond, theoretically, what we had already. But beyond that, now you added onto a Super Saiyan 4 Ultimate with a Kaioken, and now you have Super Saiyan 4... Sorry, you have Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Ego... What would be the best terminology? I didn't think of a name here at this point. SS4 Ultra Ego Kaioken times 20. But then, and this next one came to us from Wallpaper, honestly, from AJKMZ. You also got to factor in Mastered Ultra Instinct on there. Now, Ultra Instinct's a tricky one because, technically speaking, it's described not as a transformation, but it's treated like one. It's more of like a state of being, but by all accounts, as we see it portrayed in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super, it is a actual transformation. And it does seem to have some sort of multiplier added on to it. Now, the obvious problem with it, to some degree, is the fact that, as we're going to get rid of the ultimate form now, is the fact that it's it's very tricky to maintain. It's like about keeping a calm heart, at least for the Master version. Goku ultimately got his own version. And one of the things we do learn is there is a way to theoretically mix it with God Ki. Like the Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan forms and the Super Saiyan Blue forms of the God Ki. There's some way to mix and match it, but Goku hasn't figured it quite out yet. He's got his own variant of it at the moment. So it becomes a little bit more tricky how to balance Super Saiyan Ultra or Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct with a Kaioken. But hypothetically, we could do that. It's instinctual, so you could do that. But we now reach the pinnacle of the current level of power we have in Dragon Ball Super. And that is the fact that, well, can't you combine them both? And it begs the question, can you combine them both? Honestly, they seem so juxtaposed that you would think you can't combine them together. But at the same time, it's less that they're juxtaposed, the more that they just kind of do two different things. Because, Ultra Ego is about being willing to take hits, whereas Ultra Instinct's about fighting automatically without thinking and just immediately dodging instinctively. And in that sense, like, they're juxtaposed in what they do, but not how they really function. So, hypothetically, you could be able to use both of these. Which, this one came to us from, I believe it's, oh, I'm sorry. No, I take it back. The Ego was from Azura 000 from DeviantArt. And then the SS Ultra Ego, along with basically both of these came from XCHS after the fact. Now, this obviously is Gogeta, so this doesn't quite work, but it is the closest I could find to an image that would represent what this would actually be. And the idea, obviously, is that the two forms come into one. Now, with a fusion like, say, Gogeta or Vegito, this would actually be a lot easier to come into being, because you have two beings in a form already, combining together, the forms mix and match. The question would actually be, how the hell do you access both forms at once in just one individual naturally? And that is a very good question. I'm not sure it's actually very possible to do it. At least we haven't seen any example to say it is possible. But that also doesn't mean it's impossible. We just haven't seen it yet. Like I said, the Gogeta one's the closest one I have here, but the idea would be it's the best of both worlds. You can fight automatically on instinct, but anytime you would theoretically get hit, you would just increase in power. So it is kind of the ultimate offense and defense all wrapped into one. So, hypothetically, you have Goku with all his potentials unlocked, with his tail, Kaioken maxed out, all Super Saiyan forms leading up to a Super Saiyan 4, God Ki enhanced into that Super Saiyan 4 form, and then Ultra Instinct, Ultra Ego mixed together into a Super Saiyan 4 form, giving you Mastered Super Saiyan 4 Ultimate Ultra Ego Instinct Kaioken times 20. That, ladies and gentlemen, is, in my opinion, the strongest current version of Goku, given all the canon, or at least, within world, things that have existed within the lore, actually, of Dragon Ball Z. Because I'm not using, like, the Super Saiyan 5 or 6 or Mega, Super Saiyan Omega or whatever, because those don't actually exist. We're talking about the forms that actually exist in some sort of legitimate media. Super Saiyan 4 isn't canon to Super or Dragon Ball Z, but it does exist within GT, which was a legitimate series. So that does count. Either way, that is the strongest form of Goku I could create. Let me know what you think about this version of Goku. Maybe at some point we'll use this version of Goku in a what if. The start, what if Goku was the strongest version of himself he could be prior to starting at the beginning of the series. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Can you think of any way we could have made this character even stronger naturally? I mean, apart from like just giving him like an infinite Kaioken, which would make no sense. There's no way you could actually do that. But like maxing out his Kaioken, something beyond the obvious like that. Let me know. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks later.